Yeah, beautiful song from King Promise. Earlier, we also enjoyed something from Davido. I mean, okay. Oh man, I love that song so much. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're talking about somebody who is representing music and fashion on the runway, I just can't stop talking about this. It is the man who calls himself Mr. Classic. No. We call him Mr. Classic. Yeah, because he's actually a very classic man. I love him so much. I actually came on set with some duku.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I give it to KOD so he'll do something for me with some Oda Sobo?
Where's the duku?
Oh, the duku. So should I get my floor manager to bring it?
Get it. We'll
all right. So floor manager, please make sure you get me the duku from the makeup room. KOD is actually going to do something beautiful for me today on that. But ladies and gentlemen, I have right here in the studio, Mr. Classic, KOD.
It's great to be back home in this glittering studios of here there is like a home. This is home, yeah. This is home.
I'm sure we'll be having a show that's supposed to send you a text.
I know, right?
Tell about. Yeah, but how have you been?
I've been okay, since we got out of burying our heads in books,
Yeah.
We're out and
by the way,
living.
Congratulations to you, man.
Congratulations to you, man.
No, what have I done? Congratulations to me. Or congratulations to you too.
I know, right?
But yeah, I mean, congratulations to you. Back your masters from the Ghana, UMAC, University of Communications. Yes. You did very well. I'm super proud of you. But then again, I was just asking myself something. You are someone who has, pretty much seen it all.
Right.
So why education? Why school again?
Why not? Education is everything. Without education, you just be a fool amongst people. And at every point in life, you should think of evolving. You should think of rediscovering yourself. You should think of doing something new for a change. And for me, I think the actual motivation was my daughters. They're in school. I already had my first degree, and I thought, well, let me do something competitive with my children, like motivates them to bring home great results, which they did. So so you did this, and I'm paying your school fees, but if I'm able to do this, you don't have an excuse, because all you have to do is just sleep, eat, wake up, and study. So my children were also a major motivator for me to get back to school, and we had a great time. Yeah.
Salute to you. But before we get into conversation about rhythms on the runway, my duku is here.
Yeah, bring it my way. Okay, let me
bless.
See. Okay, so we can have the conversation as I put this together.
So now, one thing I just want to understand from you is, you've had a lot to do in the creative space.
Yes, I have.
Music-wise, you've been there. Radio, TV, you've been literally everywhere. Now you settled on, or let's say fashion is now, let's say, your everyday.
Yeah.
Have you always been this stylish from childhood? Because like a musician would say, I started singing when I was young. An actor would say, I started acting.
And a business person would say what?
And a business person, I started with like one thread.
No, I had people that I looked up to. My mother was a major factor in the area of fashion. She wasn't too encouraging of me becoming a creative, because I'm sure she wanted me to end up maybe as a doctor or an accountant or something like that in that space. But I don't have that bone in my system. I'm a full 360 creative. And right from day one, I knew this is where I'd end up. The first time I got into a studio like this, I think I was probably about 7 years at good old GBC. There was a lady called Emilia Cromwell Adama in the 1980s who had a TV show before Children's Own, and she was a great friend of my dad. So she invited me over once. I went by, looked at what they were doing, and I'm like, okay, I think I'd want to do this when I grow up. As a child, I'd put my mother's buckets together and drum and make noise, and my mom would be like, "Oh, Tremaja, I did it, stuff like that." Drawing, painting, working with clay. So I'm a proper 360 creative. Yeah. And
but I hope 1957 didn't start with like one thread.
No, it did not. It did not. Okay, it actually started. In actual fact, the motivation for 1957, I must say, was Kweku Tea.
Oh,
yeah.
Our very own Kweku Tea.
Our very own Kweku Tea, because right from 1999, when I started appearing on TV and hosting live events, Miss Malaika, Ghana Music Awards, Miss Ghana, and what have you, or TV shows like you're on. Very often you'd have someone who provides wardrobe. But whenever it's my turn, they're like, by you, maybe you, Charlie, just come.
Oh, put something together.
Yeah, put something together.
Oh.
So that motivated me, and also going by the blueprints of people like, Sean Combs with, what's it called? He had this clothing brand.
Sean Combs.
Yeah, as in PDD.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Rockaway was
Jay-Z.
And then he had his Sean something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten. So I thought those were the blueprints. They use their personalities and everything they represent in a creative space to push brands. And I thought, well, why not replicate that in the Ghanaian sense? And also, what name would make it big from this side? Somebody go ball because you gonna make our wear shirt that way they call them KOD, because initially it was called 1957 by KOD, and then I dropped the by KOD, just left it, because 1957 on its own is a great conversation starter. Big one. Yeah, one would ask if they are not from Ghana. Yeah. What is 1957? Exactly. So I decided to drop the by KOD and leave it as 1957. This is how far we've come.
Good. Now, Rhythms on the Runway.
Yes.
12th edition.
Yeah, it is, but the 14th year.
14th year, but 12th edition.
12th edition, yes.
I want us to do a small throwback.
Okay, let's flash back.
The very first one.
Yeah, the very first one.
And the 11th one.
Ooh. Wow, that's quite a journey. That's quite a journey.
Tell us the transition so far.
So the first one was at the old Twist nightclub in Labone, owned by one of my in-laws, and my daughter had been born. Ophelia, my wife, started making clothes for her, and people like Dorian and would go like, "Oh, Ophelia, I started making clothes for her friends' daughters. So the initial, very first event had Kwabena and Ifia as the performers, our friends and family as the performers, our friends' children like Jocelyn Dumas' daughter. Stuff like that. It was a children's show. From there, we moved on to Citizen Coffee for the second edition. Third edition, other people were showing interest, friends of ours in the music and fashion industry, both home and abroad. Decided to be, let's do this together. So we moved on 2 editions at Citizen Coffee. Then we went to Golden Tulip for 2 editions. The last one was rained off. I'm getting flashbacks. Manifest was actually on stage, and the backdrop, it was raining, like there was a storm. Everything was coming down, and he was on stage, like telling everyone to just stay. Yes, chill. Just about 2 weeks ago, Manifest, how you do one? Because it was a very it was a turbulent time, but you just maintain your cool. Actually, God was in control.
Wow.
So after that, we took a break for 2 years. Got back and went to the State Banquet Hall for 2 years. Then we had the year of return, 2019. Then we added an element to Rhythms on the Runway, people who have excelled in diverse ways in the creative space, not just in Ghana, but because at that juncture, we had also gone beyond being a family and national to a Pan-African event.
Pan-African event,
Pan-African event. So people who are doing well in the creative space, both home and abroad. So we added the Black Star experience.
Edition,
it's 1957. Why not Black Star? Because the story of the Black Star line is right from 1923, when the great Marcus Garvey decided to get the diasporans back home. So we started the Black Star Honors Night as part of Rhythms on the Runway right from 2019. I think the first 2 honorees were Asabia Cropper and her brother, Nene Ajiman, and Obrafo.
Oh,
they were the first.
So that was when the whole honorees edition or part of it
was added to. And the plan is to have that as an entirely different event.
Okay.
Yeah, but we gradually weaved it into Rhythms on the Runway to see how it goes. Yeah, and for this year, we're honoring the great Ejako Onimo, Chief Dele Momudu from Nigeria.
Ovation.
Awesome journalist who's been part of Rhythms on the Runway right from the onset. It doesn't matter where he finds himself in the world, he makes sure he's back home.
Even
for Rhythms
played a key role in the Ghanaian creative space.
He has, especially with us. Ejako Onimo, Chief Momudu, I mentioned Kwabena being there from day one. And then The last person is an awesome export from Ghana, Bibi Brew, if you know Bibi Brew.
Yeah, Bibi Brew, yeah.
Bibi Brew. She's done incredibly well for this country in terms of selling our music to the rest of the world, especially the European space. So we thought to honor them this year at Rhythms on the Runway.
Wow, that's good.
And in terms of performance, Kwabna is on stage, Bibi's on stage. A
Manziba.
previous honoree, the Queen of Kente, Asabia Kropa is on stage with her brother Nene. Manziba's performing. Kamido is on as well. Nasi is on. Michael Stuckey is coming into town from the United States.
Yeah. So there we have it.
Yes, there we have it, exactly.
Rhythms on the Runway.
Yeah. And I hope I didn't forget anyone. Episode is on.
Yeah.
Episode is doing something very different for a change. He's always been part of Rhythms on the Runway, even in terms of planning. Now, we get to see Episode's, the launch of its clothing brand at Rhythms on the Runway. So as he's on stage performing, we get to see the models on the runway in his
debut. I think the Amachidede one will be on.
Yeah, we've seen the Amachidede. We've seen the Kwame Nkrumah one. I don't have an idea of what he's
doing this year.
Yeah, for this show. So
all right.
It will be his proper outdooring event at Rhythms on the Runway, because we've always seen him wear them. You know, we've seen him in those outfits, but not other people wearing them.
But why give him this opportunity? Because I mean, it's your stage. It's one of the biggest stages, I would say, in the fashion space in Ghana.
1957 is not even part of the show this year. And that's the whole idea. The show is bigger than any brand. The show is not about 1957. The show
1957 is not
part of it, yes. The show is about any African doing awesomely well anywhere in the world. It's a Pan-African event. We have a fashion designer coming in from the United States. There's one from Morocco, one from Togo, models from Senegal, Ivory Coast, and that's the whole idea. It's become a very Pan-African event. And let me say this here. We're actually in talks with the government of Angola. Next year is their 50th anniversary.
Don't tell me you're taking Rhythms on the Runway there.
Rhythms on the Runway there.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're having that conversation. This is the first time I'm saying it.
Wow.
On TV, yeah. So
I mean, then it is a proper Pan-African event.
It's a proper Pan-African event. That's how much it's grown over the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I see also on Rhythms on the Runway, you've added another element which I find very beautiful. Plus size lace.
Plus sizes, yes. We did that 2, 3. We've done that for about 3 years, but I won't take the credit, or we won't take the credit for that.
Sure.
We actually work with what the designers want.
Okay.
So for our theme for this year, for instance, is Kente. We're not telling the designers to showcase Kente. It's the attendees that are coming wearing their Kente. You know, let's see what how best you can rock your Kente. But for the designers, we're leaving them, to pour out their own creative juices, leave them to be who they are. We don't want to interrupt their creative thought process and, in any way. So for the plus sizes, we thought, well, we're evolving. These are real Ghanaians, real African women, real African men. Let's get them on the runway. Let them come out with their pop bellies. Let them come out with their size 22s.
Because that's such a confidence booster or builder, because most times people tend to shun this plus size, you're not supposed to be. But then we're able to bring them in, bring them closer, and then we make them feel like they are part of us.
Exactly, because they're truly part of us. I mean, we all have aunties that look like that, or mothers that look like that, or wives and husbands that look like that. But then once we're out on maybe social media or on TV, everyone wants to look slim. We're not Westerners, we're Africans. We look a certain way.
Yeah.
We look a certain way.
And it's part of us.
It's part of us.
All right. Now, the 12th edition is going to be about Kente.
Kente.
Good. I've seen the Aqua edition, I've seen the Green edition, I've seen the, like you said, the Black Star, the Excellence edition. This time around, we are talking about Kente.
Yes.
Why the idea of Kente? Now, before that, what actually inspires your focus for?
When the year starts, I start thinking about Rhythms on the Runway right from January. That's my birthday month. So I think about a lot of things. I think about, live in retrospect. And going forward obviously includes Rhythms on the Runway.
Yeah.
And once I come up with an idea, I share with the rest of the team, like, what are the pluses and minuses?
Yeah.
What can we add? What can we take out? Yeah. And then, once we agree, I believe in teamwork, so I don't even take credit for any. In actual fact, I'm like the least of the people in my team. I feel like everyone, I project them, and I'm the one that takes a back seat. I don't even like granting interviews about rhythms on the runway. I like to go out and look for the money to pay for the bills. That's my specialty. That's good. So this year we thought of Kente being everything that we are. You find Kente in Ivory Coast, La Côte d'Ivoire, in Togo, in Benin as well. Yeah. But Ghana is the only country that's really truly known for Kente. Kente. Yes. From Kente from Volta. Kente from Ashanti, so Bonue and Volta, and then I don't think what's from the north is called Kente. Okay. But it's become part of what we wear. Sure. For special occasions, like it's very regal as well. It's not called Kente. Especially, I was looking for someone who manufactures them. Recently, I posted on Facebook, and someone came and went like, "It's not called Kente." I forgot the name they gave of it, but. Graduating students anywhere in the world, you see elements of Kente on their
even gowns. Is it the sash? Yes. Yeah, that we wear. And it's always
these are people who are not even from Ghana, and they're repping our Kente. So how much more, those of us. And also we thought of the theme because of what Kente represents: different colors, different patterns, different yarns woven together into one beautiful cloth. Who are we? People from different walks of life, political persuasions, the North, Ashantis, Southerners, Dagomba, Evers, Adangbes, Fantis, put together to become one great nation. So as we get ready to go to the polls, and I was thinking about that as far back as January, as we get ready to go to the polls, let's use fashion and music as a platform to unite all of us. Because I'm sure you have a friend who is on, the different sides of the political divide. But at the end of the day, we're all
one people.
And we're all moving towards a great destination for this country, this beautiful country of ours. So, just walk your Kente, come out, no matter the color. Let's have a great time, celebrate Ghana as we go.
Where is this happening?
We're going to the Grand Arena next Saturday, 30th of November. It's a week before elections. So, there's tension in time. So just come out, just chill, forget about all the political stress as we get ready to go to the polls. Come out in your numbers. Let's have a great time. To make sure you can afford this. In the last 3 years, we've maintained the same amount at the gate. 200, most people should be able to afford that. 400 Ghana cedis. The tables are sold out. So, always the first to sell out.
Wow.
The tables are sold out. So
the tables are sold out.
200 for regular, 400 VIP. Just pull up and come have a great time. The red carpet starts from 6 p.m.
Good. You've mentioned red carpet.
Yes, sir.
And that's why it's good to take our conversation because
actually it's a green carpet this year.
It's a green carpet this year, and I think you've always tried to be very creative with that whole space.
But then, sometimes it's also expensive, especially if you go to the Grand Arena, they have an existing green carpet. Why should I bring? So I'm cutting costs.
We are doing cost effective. We have to be cost effective.
So I'm bringing some extra greens to add on to what they have.
And make it very beautiful. But what do you actually make of the red carpet culture in Ghana?
Sometimes we don't get it right. Compared to other events, other places, Charlie, I've had some, looking back and observing what goes on the red carpet. But I can look back and say an event like EMI Awards, we've seen some really great red carpet moments. Rhythms on the Runway, obviously, because it's a fashion event. People come out looking their very best. But it's an area that we could work on some more, and also use that platform to empower the Ghanaian tailors, the Ghanaian dressmakers, the Ghanaian clothes makers. Instead of coming wearing something.
Somebody who's watching us now, maybe they are planning to go for the next big event, which will have a red carpet, and part of it and everything. KOD, you have been in the fashion space. You've seen it across the world. You've seen best practices everywhere. What would you say are the do's and don'ts?
Well, it depends
on a red carpet.
It depends on the nature of the event.
Okay.
If you're going to an entirely black tie event, you need to be in a tux. Not even a regular suit. You need to be in a tuxedo for men. And for
there's a difference between a regular suit and a
exactly,
tuxedo.
Yeah. And for
the tuxedo is the one with the tail.
Not necessarily. It could be a jacket like this, but then it's sewn with the lapel is different. It comes with elements of well, some use silk, some use sateen to embellish it, and then there's a bit of sateen on the side of the trousers. You know, that's where you wear your patent shoes, and these days people wear shoes without socks. It's okay. It's a proper black tie, proper, you know, black tie event. You know, like that's a typical red carpet moment. But especially for women, because we've evolved and also we've had the influence of foreign influence on our fashion. People can wear like a kente ball gown on the red carpet, and it's awesome. It's always beautiful.
Okay.
It's the kind of thing I'd want to see at Rhythms on the Runway. So if you want an amazing kente outfit to maybe a wedding a long time ago or an engagement, and you've been wondering like when next, because kente is something you don't wear always.
Yeah.
It's for regal and special moments.
Yes.
So you can rock them on the green carpet.
So if I'm coming for the event next week Saturday,
there should be a hint of kente.
There should be a hint
of kente, not like, you know, all draped in kente. You know,
but then it should be like, you know.
Yeah, it could be just a pocket square
with some
maybe
nice kente.
A scarf or a gele made out of kente. But let's see a bit of kente in what you wear.
Now, when the night is going on, run me through your emotions. How's the emotions for you like?
I'm always running around. Like I have never sat to. I think the only time I got to experience Rhythms on the Runway to a certain extent was what do we call it? The 100% GH edition. That's right when we got out of COVID, because we could not get any foreigners to participate. So we called it the 100% GH edition.
Okay.
At the underbridge. I was standing in a corner. Actually, I was standing there with Samins, you know.
Okay.
I just looking at proceedings, and it's the only time I wasn't running around.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe then again because we didn't have that many people. We had come out of COVID and people were cautious to come out. But typically, I want to, and it's one of the reasons I make sure the show doesn't run live on TV.
Okay.
I want it impeccably done. I don't want any like time wasting, drags, there's a break where no one is on stage, nothing is happening, and people are still just sitting there. No, I want it seamless. I want it seamless. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, another aspect of Rhythms on the Runway that interests me a lot, and that's where I'm coming to that audition, is when you get to bring people in the media space.
Media and creative space.
Media and creative space, because last year we saw our very own, was it last year? Last year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year we saw our very own Umaru Sanda.
Umaru was on stage.
Yeah.
He killed it.
And Frema Dunyami was also on stage.
Yes,
all of that. What are you trying to communicate with that?
So these are
idea?
people, I mean, when you see Mr. Sanda, he's always talking serious matters on TV. Frema is, well, she has a light side, like a side that puts smiles on people's faces. But these are people that you only see on TV from a distance. Yeah. So the idea is to bring them up close and personal. You see them like they're walking on the runway. You know, not really you'd see them on TV, but here they are. And when we're done, during the green carpet movement, you're taking your pictures with them, you're hanging out with them, you know, stuff like that. So it's actually to add on to the wow element of Rhythms on the Runway. And over the years, we've always had some great time on the runway with these personalities.
I am super excited for you. Now, for someone like me, how can I get to be on the Rhythms on the Runway? Because I want to model.
You pass for Rhythms on the Runway. You have every you know, personality-wise, everything.
I am tall.
You're tall, yes.
I look good.
You look good.
But I'm a boy.
There be ancestor obo. And be there.
So to be a model, you don't need to have six packs.
You don't necessarily have to have 6 packs, especially for what we do. You know, we're gone past those days of looking for size zeros. We don't do that. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for me next week Saturday. Rhythms on the Runway, man. I'm a rocket.
I know, right?
I'm gonna show you. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my scarf is with you.
Okay, so
what has KOD been able to do for me?
Something simple.
Yeah.
And it works with what you're wearing. So.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Unfortunately, take it off.
Perfect.
Like a tie. Okay. and then you get it inside. There we go.
Oh man.
More like a cravat.
Oh man.
Yeah. There we go. We're good.
Wow. How do I look?
Yeah. You know, so
Man.
we just added something to it.
Wow. So do you ever stress to put some of these your pieces together?
No. I mean, I've done it for so many years. It's become part of me.
Wow.
Somehow. Yeah.
Okay. Just before we go, tell me the longest it's ever take you to actually put your everything together before you step out.
It doesn't, because I do that before I go to bed. I'm a planner.
Oh, so you plan what you wear the next day?
The day before.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't have to waste time.
Wow.
Yeah. My things are put together properly, so I know where everything is. Yeah. I know where my socks are. I know where my underwear are. I know where my shirts are. I know where, and especially now that I'm growing or grown, I feel more comfortable in something like what I'm wearing now.
Oh, okay.
You know, so to wear a suit and tie is too much work. It's too much work.
All right.
It's
But is it right thing for people to do when they wear black trousers and they wear colorful socks? Because some people will tell you when you wear black trousers, wear black socks.
Oh, well, I mean, black socks and black shoe is a typical, you know, conventional way of doing it. But if you want to add a little bit of, you know, color to your look, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I do that a lot.
Yeah,
I do that a
because
lot.
I picked that from you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do that
you
a
like
lot.
to keep it happy.
You know, like, you know, just be in maybe one tone, all black,
Yeah.
and then a little bit of noise with your shoes or
Wow.
your socks. Yeah, that's
Wow.
it. That's it.
Thank you very much, KOD.
You're welcome.